Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News.
Now at 8 o'clock, 2 Lexington men are recovering from a shooting last night. We'll have a full report coming up.
The Franklin County Sheriff says investigators found some dangerous items in trick-or-treat bags.
And with just 2 days till Election Day, WKYT sits down with both Allison Lumbergan Grimes and Senator Mitch McConnell. These stories and more, plus breaking news as it happens, coming up on WKYT this morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sean Moody.
And I'm Whitney Wetzel. It is Sunday, November 2nd. Thanks so much for joining us. Really cannot believe that it's already November, and here we are this morning in the 20s.
Yep. Oh, I was scraping. I walked outside, and it was just that whole full body just...
Not ready for it.
Not at all.
Let's go to WKYT's Mike Linden. Mike, is this going to get any better before we hit winter?
Yeah, short answer is yes, it should get a little bit better, but boy, is it hard to get started this morning with temperatures in the 20s. And if we look outside, you can still see some frost on the ground there, but most of it really beginning to melt off pretty quickly here because there's just no cloud cover blocking that sun, which should really help us out into the middle of the day today, getting back into the 40s. But a freeze warning in effect at least for another hour here as temperatures are widespread across Kentucky, cooler than that 32-degree mark. So here's what I'll be talking about in about 10 minutes from now. I'll be focusing mainly in on this cold and dry Sunday and what else we can expect throughout our day today. But there are some changes, including a nice little warm-up to start off the work week, but even more active changes by the middle of it. I'll show you what I'm tracking coming up in about 10 minutes.
All right, Mike, thank you. Lexington police are investigating a shooting that happened late last night.
This morning, police are trying to figure out what led to the shooting. WKYT's Mark Barber is live at UK Hospital with our top story this morning. Mark?
Good morning, Sean and Whitney. 2 men were rushed here to UK Hospital after police say their car was sprayed with bullets. Now, investigators tell us that the shooting happened near Charles Avenue and Oak Street around 9:30 last night. Police say a short time later, a man flagged down an officer directing traffic for the Garth Brooks concert at Main Street and Newtown Pike. Now, even though the man had been shot, officers tell us he led them back to a car on Jefferson Street where another man with a gunshot wound was sitting in a car riddled with bullet holes. According to investigators, a bullet grazed a shoulder of one man and the other man was shot in the arm. Now, because details are still limited at this time, I'm told investigators do not know what led to the shooting. Now, at this time, police say they are just trying to figure out who pulled that trigger. Live here in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. Police and fire crews in 2 counties had to respond to 2 vehicle fires.
Police say a car thief caused a car fire just before 11 last night. They say it happened on a service road near I-64. Police say the driver was doing donuts in the parking lot when the car caught fire. They say the driver then ran away. Investigators say they later found out the car was stolen after tracking down its owner. No arrests or injuries have been reported in that case. In Richmond, investigators say a man is in jail this morning after crashing his car while driving drunk. Deputies say he was speeding down Crooksville Road around 1:30, flipped his car several times. Then they say it caught fire. Deputies say he got out and told police he was drunk. He was then arrested and charged with DUI. They say he was not injured.
Lexington police are searching for a man who robbed a tobacco store. Around 9 o'clock last night, they say the robber walked into the Up and Smoke store off East New Circle. He handed the clerk a note which said he had a weapon and demanded cash. The robber then took off. Police only have a limited description of that suspect. Lexington police are also looking for a man who robbed a video game store. Police say a man with a gun walked into the GameStop on New Circle Road yesterday and demanded cash. They say he then ran out and got into a car nearby after the cashier gave him some money. Police only have a limited description of that suspect as well. If you have any information, call Lexington Police.
Some kids in Franklin County got more of a trick than a treat this weekend. The sheriff says his deputies found pocket knives and a couple of Halloween bags Friday night. Deputies were scanning bags of candy for kids at the courthouse downtown. The Franklin County sheriff says his deputies found the pocket knives inside the bags of 2 trick-or-treaters who'd been knocking on doors in Lawrenceburg.
Was there any ill intent? No. But when you got little kids and you got toddlers, you know, anything can happen. And that's probably not an appropriate thing to hand out on Halloween to kids.
The sheriff says they scanned trick-or-treat bags for more than 50 families.
This is the fourth year on record that Lexington has had snow before November 1st. Some parts of the state saw more than 2 inches. According to the National Weather Service, the last time central Kentucky had Halloween snow was in 1954 with 1/10 of an inch. It was the second and final night of Garth Brooks' concerts at Rupp Arena last night. WKYT's Garrett Weimer was there, and he has a look at how concert goers handled the traffic and the cold.
Another cold night here and another busy night on the streets here in downtown Lexington. Also another night of concert goers braving both of those to catch Garth Brooks right inside.
Earlier, people piled into the Lexington Center waiting on concert number 2 tonight.
I'm a big Garth fan. I came from Van Buren, Missouri in southeast Missouri. We left about 10 o'clock this morning and drove over. I saw him 3 times before, but it's worth the trip.
A lot of folks showed up early to the second show, which helped them beat some of the traffic, especially after the first show ended. It also helped them find a parking spot. Several people I talked to say they did not have trouble with either one of those things.
It seemed odd because he had 2 shows on Friday, 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday. I've never been to a concert this late, actually, but we're going to enjoy it.
Those who came here to the second concert and parked all the way in the auxiliary lot were able to take a shuttle that dropped them off right here at Rupp Arena. In downtown Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Those 4 shows were expected to bring more than 80,000 people into downtown Lexington.
With the election now just 2 days away, the candidates for Senate are making one last push to increase voter turnout. Senator Mitch McConnell spent yesterday in Mount Sterling and Georgetown. Allison Lundergan-Grimes was in Lexington and Northern Kentucky. Both candidates are pushing for change. McConnell is banking on Republicans taking over the Senate and naming him the majority leader. Grimes wants to take McConnell's Senate seat. Both candidates were in central Kentucky yesterday for rallies.
And there's nobody the president wants to beat worse than me. And nobody I want to have a bad night Tuesday night more than him.
He doesn't have a plan for the future. He doesn't have a vision that's for me or for you, because our senator, bought and paid for by the millionaires and billionaires, that's all he's been looking out for.
Now tonight, be sure to watch Kentucky Newsmakers for an hour-long special edition featuring interviews with both Grimes and McConnell. That'll be on the CW Lexington at 6:30. Well, we hope you got an extra hour of sleep last night. Daylight saving time came to an end at 2 a.m. Clocks go back 1 hour today. Fire officials say you should also switch out the batteries in your smoke detectors today. WKYT This Morning is just getting started. Coming up, local celebrities and one WKYT news anchor competed for a chance to kiss a pig. That story next.
Plus, a negative Ebola diagnosis reunites a Texas nurse and her dog. That story, plus a recap of your headlines, still to come on WKYT This Morning.
Well, it's been a cold start to the month of November so far, with wind chill right now in the 20s, but there is some change on the way and includes some warmer temperatures in our near future. I'll show you when coming up.